Hey, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl here, the Venusian Bull, and I am back with another series of the Planets in the Houses series videos, okay? So in this series of videos, we are going to be discussing planets in the 10th house, all right? We have reached the highest point in the natal chart. Yes, we have. So we getting there slowly but surely, okay? Like this time last year, you would have thought I would have been stopping at the third house, but here we are at the 10th house. All right. So in this introduction video, I just kind of want to give like a brief overview of kind of what we're going to be talking about. So I don't have to like repeat certain things over and over again, okay? So the 10th house does represent your career, and I have discussed career in various points as I've been discussing planets in the houses and things like that. But this is the video that you should really pay attention to when it comes to your career. Okay, so the 10th house has to deal with your career, your public standing, your reputation, your legacy, and how you're going to be known when you like kind of like leave this earth. Like, what are they going to say at your funeral? What's going to be in your obituary? A lot of that kind of has to do with your 10th house, because the 10th house rules Capricorn. Okay, so remember that. So it's all about legacy. Okay, it's all about what you're leaving behind. It's all about your reputation and your public standing. So pretty straightforward, no bells and whistles, just like Capricorn likes it. I got my blazer on, I'm ready for business, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It's not a whole bunch of stuff like a lot of these other placements. This is a bit of a controversial statement that I'm going to make, though. The 10th house does have to deal with the mother as well. Now, I know that most astrologers and most of you have learned that the 4th house represents the mother and the 10th house represents the father. I have kind of learned it the other way around, and it's actually been quite accurate. If you do go back to my 4th house series of videos, when I discuss the planets in the 4th house, I do discuss the father ruling the 4th house as that being, the foundation. Traditionally, the father is, the foundation of the family. So that's why it rules the 4th house and things of that nature. So with the mother ruling the 10th house, you're going to hear me talking about the mother more, not just with the moon, for instance, but I'm going to be talking about it, throughout the planets in the houses, just so you can get perspective. And it'll really come in handy when you're looking at like, the planet that rules the 10th house, especially if you don't have any planets there. Remember, I encourage everyone to actually watch all of the videos because they all play an integral part in your natal chart. Even if you don't have planets in that house, please watch these videos. Another important thing to remember about this series of videos is that not only am I going to be talking about the planets in the 10th house, but I'm also going to be talking about the midheaven, okay, which is the highest point in the natal chart. It is also known as the MC. All right. And that represents your career and public standing as well. So, the planets that you have in the 10th house, they may have a different type of energy than the sign that's on the 10th house cusp. So I'm kind of going to be doing both when I discuss it, especially when I talk about the planets that rule more than one sign, like Mercury rules both Virgo and Gemini, and Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. So I will be discussing that. So it'll vary a little bit when I discuss Mercury and when I discuss Venus, because I have to discuss those signs on the 10th house cusps as well. So okay, so remember with these placements, I have to stress this in all of my videos because people tend to forget. All right, this energy that these characteristics that I give, the energy can be modified if you have other planets that are in the 10th house, if you have other planets that are aspecting the 10th house, especially if it's aspecting it in, a challenging way or something like that. So everything could change depending on what sign is on the 10th house cusp, because I'm going to be talking about both the planets and the house cusp. So like, for instance, if you have Mercury in the 10th house, but then you have Cancer on the 10th house cusp, it's going to give a different vibe than you having Mercury in the 10th house, Gemini on the 10th house cusp. I need to make this clear because some of y'all, like, y'all are getting better with this. I think it's because I'm putting these disclosures at the beginning of the videos. But I just want to stress this out, that everything is relative when it comes to astrology. It depends on so many different variables, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear before we get into these planets in the 10th house. It's going to be very interesting in this series of videos. It's going to be very straightforward. I don't expect these videos to be too long, but if they are, I'm apologizing in advance because you know how a girl likes to talk, you know what I'm saying? But I think we're going to get to the point, and I think we're going to get to the nitty gritty, and it's going to be informative, and it's going to be useful. This is very Capricornian, Capricorn, Saturnian, whatever. And I hope you like these videos. So stay tuned. All right, so in this video, we are going to be discussing the sun in the 10th house. And we're also going to be discussing Leo on the 10th house cusp, okay? Because the sun rules Leo. So we're gonna kind of discuss both. So remember, again, as I said in my introduction video, even if you don't have any planets in the 10th house, you may have Leo on the 10th house cusp. So if you do, you're gonna wanna listen to this video as well. All right, okay. All right, so sun in the 10th house. Okay, so you know the sun has to deal with your ego and your personality and how you see yourself and your vitality. So when it comes to the 10th house in public standing and career, you have to be doing something in your career that allows you to stand out. You have to be doing something that allows you to be a star, that allows you to be the center of attention. Like literally, sun in the 10th house is a career in celebrity. Like it is just like you are, it low-key can be famous for being famous, but you literally like make a career out of that. This is very Kardashian-esque type energy. And not to, you know, strike a blow if that's not the type of, you know, thing that you're on or whatever, but it really is making a career out of being a celebrity. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have talent, you know, in that realm, but since you can kind of be a celebrity nowadays doing pretty much anything, sun in the 10th house, be a celebrity doing YouTube videos. You could be a celebrity being an influencer. You could be a celebrity doing, you know, vlogs, being, you know, having a podcast, just like all of these different things where you can, you know, be center of attention. Of course, you know, being an actor or an actress or, you know, a singer or a rapper or something like that is always something that is possible with sun in the 10th house. Also, with sun in the 10th house, you could just be doing something that you could be a very like prominent figure as well. You know what I'm saying? You could be like the president. You could be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Leo also represents Leo midheaven. Remember, you got to understand that. And so does the sun. So whatever you can do where you're leading people, you can't really be told what to do with this placement. Like you have to have a career where you kind of have free reign to do what you want. You're the authority of yourself, okay? So can't nobody tell you what to do. If people are telling you what to do, like that career is not going to work for you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand like what works for you. You know that you like to be the center of attention. You know, you're a little arrogant, you're a little cocky, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to your work. And you know that you're good. You know that you're good in your career. You know that you're the best actress, you're the best director, you know what I'm saying? You're the best CEO of the company. You know what I'm saying? You are the shit. You know this, you know what I'm saying? So especially if you got Leo on that midheaven, like if you got a double whammy, like you got sun in the 10th and Leo on the midheaven, then you're really going to feel this energy that I'm giving off. You know what I'm saying? So the kind of difference a little bit in you just having the sun in the 10th house versus Leo on the 10th house cusp is not really a lot. It really just kind of depends on what sign you kind of have on the 10th house cusp. But you're gonna want to be a leader and you're gonna want to be the center of attention. Even if you're kind of like a more modest energy, like a Capricorn or a Scorpio or something like that, you're still gonna want to be the boss. You're still gonna want to be out there. Maybe not so much the famous for being famous type of thing. that may not be the case depending on what sign is on the 10th house cusp, but wanting to be a leader, wanting to be, the center of attention. And, as far as like the public standing and reputation, you want to have a very positive, very light, very fun type of reputation to precede you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want anybody saying any negative shit about you and stuff like that. You want everybody at your goddamn funeral, like when you die and stuff like that, like you want to be known as the greatest. Like, for real. Maybe Muhammad Ali had Sun in the 10th. I'm gonna have to look at his chart. But you definitely want to be known as the greatest. And, the GOAT. The GOAT, Capricorn, greatest of all time. You want to be known as that with Sun in the 10th house. Like, that is kind of like your legacy and things like that. So, I did mention that the 10th house does rule the mother. So if you have Sun in the 10th house, you probably have a very like dominant mother. But she was also very fun and had this like kind of effervescent energy, very like youthful type of energy. And she was, very much a star in whatever her career was. You know what I'm saying? May have felt like the career was a little bit more important than the children, but the children are a part of the legacy, because you have to remember that the sun represents children, right? As does Leo on the 10th house. So children are a part of the legacy. So this type of mother actually does want to have a lot of kids. This type of mother believes they can do it all. Okay, they can have the kids, they can have the husband, and they can have the career. They about to be a triple threat up in this piece. Okay, so that's kind of like the energy of the mother, and of course, a little arrogant, a little cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, she might, try to be in competition with her kids. You know what I'm saying? Just, because like Leo and the sun love some competition, and they, unfortunately that can kind of be done with the children, but what have you. But even in general, like with Sun in the 10th, you love competition. You love, to go for it. You just like to go for it. You're going to take that opportunity. Like, I'm going to go for that job interview. I'm going to walk into that executive's office and I'm going to tell them that this company would be shit without me. Of course, you're going to do it in a more professional way. You're not going to say shit, but you're going to walk in there looking your best, and you are going to sell it. Okay. You are the absolute best at selling yourself. Like, actually selling yourself is your career. Pretty much, and that goes across the board in whatever it is that you're doing. You are selling yourself. You are selling a brand. You are selling a product. Sun in the 10th house people know this better than anybody else, okay? Like, I really have to look up the charts of some of these influencers and things like that, because Sun in the 10th is them, okay? Like, just kind of creating a career out of nothing, because you have to remember, you want to be in charge of yourself. You want to be in control. You want to be the authority figure of yourself. So you're not really trying to like just get a job and like work your way up the ladder. You're kind of, you want to stand out. You're kind of trying to do something new and something where, you can be like your own boss. And anything that you can do in the creative space, I've kind of addressed this already, but anything that you can do in the creative space is most preferable. Music, art, dance, TV personality, acting, like all of that. If you can be creative while you're doing it, then do it. Also, Sun in the 10th is working with children. So you could work with children for a living. You could be like, and you would be like, the teacher or professor, you know what I'm saying? That everybody kind of likes, that everybody kind of gravitates towards. When people graduate, they like, I just, Mrs. Johnson, she was the one. She was the one who taught me everything I needed to know. You're that type of teacher. That's the type of lasting impression that you're leaving. You could also be an athlete. Remember, competition, competitiveness. So you could definitely be a boxer, basketball player, football player, any type of athlete, because you like to, be competitive and play sports. This is a very athletic type of energy. Remember, this is fire energy, whether it's the sun or whether it's Leo on the 10th house cusp. Remember that it's fire energy. And most importantly, like I said before, remember that this is all about selling yourself. You can always talk a good game. You're charming as hell. People probably don't like you because you think you cute and you better than everybody. And you know what? You probably are, because you're making all the money. because you're taking the risks. You know what I'm saying? Sun in the 10th is going to take the necessary risks that need to be taken in order to get to the top. And you're going to make it to the top. Do you want to be on top? The very top model. You know what I'm saying? Does Tyra have Sun in the 10th? Let me stop with this because I'm just like literally thinking about all these people who may have Sun in the 10th. But yeah, this is definitely very much go-getter energy. And given the fact, hopefully you don't have really any really challenging aspects. I wish I would have mentioned this in the introduction video. I may have to add a little clause, but pending you don't have really any challenging aspects to your sun, whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, you will probably get there. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not going to be setbacks and there's not going to be obstacles that you're going to have to climb. Like, you actually like that. You thrive off of that because, you know, the competitive energy, the athletic energy and stuff like that. But you're probably going to get there because you have the confidence, okay? And you have the willpower. You believe in yourself more than anybody else. And that is so important. Like, it would low-key be so dope to have Sun in the 10th house. I don't have this placement, but like Sun in the 10th house, people believe in themselves so much, which can come off as arrogant, but that's the type of energy that really gets them from the bottom to the top. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Like, for real. Sun in the 10th house, Leo in the 10th house cusp. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Hopefully I didn't. But if I did, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. If you have Sun in the 10th house or Leo on the 10th house cusp, let me know your comments on this. Let me know if this resonated with you. And, you know, let me know if anybody in your family has this, anybody that you know personally, and how you kind of deal with this energy. All right. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to share. Tell a friend. Okay. Tell many friends. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.